This slingshot ride makes visitors scream loudly, but it would be much too boring for the most unusual amusement parks in the world. In the parks that we present to you in this video, there are attractions that you have never seen before. You can expect, among other things, a park with real dwarfs, a blatant horror park, and a park that was so dangerous that it had to be closed. So make sure to stay tuned here at Wonderlane. Let's start with the park Patriot Russia in Russia, which is also called Military Disneyland. In this amusement park, everything revolves around the Russian army on an area of more than 4,000 hectares. And while normal amusement parks feature colorful attractions, this park has thousands of weapons, tanks, military vehicles, and equipment on display. However, the park is not just a military museum as they are in our country, but actually a real amusement park for the whole family. Visitors can watch the storming of the Reichstag being reenacted and can take up arms themselves on 32 different firing ranges or watch others fire at targets up to 1.4 kilometers away. In addition, youngsters can train in urban warfare and small children can ride in mini tanks or practice on 3D simulators. Of course, the park also features spectacular shows with tanks, jets, helicopters, and plenty of explosions. Let's continue with a park that stands in sharp contrast to the Park Patriot. Jeju Loveland in South Korea is all about love, as the name suggests. More precisely, it's about physical love. Instead of rides, visitors can expect more than 140 statues and artworks of men and women in poses that stimulate the imagination. Amidst a beautiful park setting, viewers can stroll and gradually discover more and more sex art after walking through the spread legs of a giant female sculpture. Of course, there are all sorts of erotic things to buy in the park stores, and even the door handles and food in the park here are reminiscent of sexual parts. Since South Korea has one of the lowest birth rates in the world, Jeju Loveland is a very popular honeymoon destination for newly married couples. The idea is to encourage them to put their plans for children into action. Let's now move on to the Dwarf Empire in China, an amusement park that translates as Dwarf Empire, and where dwarves are the main attraction. In fact, 140 people of small stature work in the controversial Dwarf Empire and entertain visitors with song and dance shows in colorful costumes. They also perform exhibition fights or breakdance battles. In fact, the people of small stature not only work here, they even live in the park. To be more precise, they live in small, mushroom-shaped houses. Those who want to be there must be no taller than 1.3 meters at the most. All employees at Dwarf Empire earn more than the average wage, and while short people in the rest of China are often discriminated against, outcast, and forced to live in poverty, here they can live a better life. Although many critics say that the small people are paraded around like zoo animals, many of the employees describe their work and the park as wonderful, and even a kind of paradise. Therefore, more and more people are applying there, and the park owner plans to expand Dwarf Empire a lot in the future. Now let's move on to Dismal Land in England. Dismal Land was a dark parody of Disneyland created by the famous street artist Banksy, and was actually just an art project. Nevertheless, in 2015, the park actually opened regularly to visitors for 36 days like a normal theme park. The 4,000 people who came here every day were treated to bizarre sights and works by over 50 artists. Pretty much everything in Dismal Land was the exact opposite of what you'd find in happy parks. The fairy tale castle was in complete disrepair. A photo wall you could stick your head through showed terrorists instead of funny cartoon characters, and you could only lose at attractions like throwing booths. In short, just everything about this park was pretty depressing. If you want to visit our next amusement park, you have to go deep underground. Salina Turda in Romania is the world's deepest amusement park. It is located at a depth of 120 meters in an old salt mine, and offers as a highlight a large Ferris wheel from which you can admire the spectacular mine. In addition, you can go boating on an underground lake, go bowling, play billiards, or engage in other typical park activities, only in front of a truly unique backdrop. And because the air in the old salt mine is particularly good, a visit to this amusement park can even be beneficial to the health of people with respiratory diseases such as asthma. Our next amusement park is not only fun, but also serves as training for something that many immigrants in Central America always try. Because at Parque Eco Alberto in Mexico, apart from normal attractions such as kayaking, water slides, or zip lining, there is namely also the so-called night walk, which can be translated as night hike. This is a hike lasting several hours, during which participants are supposed to have the authentic experience of an escape across the border into the USA. Those who participate are given a ski mask and then walk through the night for 3 hours while being chased by sirens and dogs. In addition, participants meet actors who impersonate border control agents, robbers, kidnappers, or smugglers, and there are even fake shootings to get the adrenaline pumping. Actually, the aim of this attraction is to prevent the Mexican participants from a real escape to the USA after they have been put under maximum stress in the simulated escape. We continue now with an amusement park that is really all about excavators and other construction machinery, namely Diggerland, which is so popular that there are now 4 of the parks in England and 1 in the USA. In Diggerland, adults and children can try out excavators of all kinds for themselves and dig holes or ride on construction machines over courses. Even games of skill can be played here with real, big excavators. Those who like can also take a ride on a carousel in an excavator shovel or be lifted high into the air. For the very youngest, there are areas with toy construction vehicles and circuits that can be driven on with small construction vehicles. Little and big Bob the Builder fans probably can't imagine a nicer place than Diggerland. Let's continue with the most dangerous amusement park in the world, the Action Park in New Jersey in the USA. The Action Park was so extreme that it had to be closed forever in 1996. In the just 18 years that the park was open, countless visitors were seriously injured. In one summer alone, more than 100 people were injured and a total of 6 people lost their lives there. All attractions in the Action Park were overly fast and nowhere was safety taken into consideration. Loose components and cables lying around sound almost normal against the fact that dangerous snapping turtles and snakes also lived in the park, which the park operator did not care about. Many of the rides were not even tested before they were put into operation, and they were not maintained because there were no qualified personnel. Nevertheless, the Action Park enjoyed great popularity until its closure. After all, no other park that paid normal attention to safety could offer such breakneck action-packed experiences. And our last park for today, Alton Towers Water Park in England, is actually just a normal water park with various pools and fast-paced water slides that promise fun for the whole family. For one weekend a year, however, the family-friendly leisure paradise transforms into a meeting place for nudists. More than 400 nudists slide, swim, and splash around here completely naked and remain undressed around the clock, even in the park's own hotel, even at the food buffets, at the bars, and during the entertainment shows in the evening. The guests wear no clothes. And that's it for the most unusual amusement parks in the world. Write us in the comments which of these parks you would like to visit. If you enjoyed this video, we would also be happy about a like and a subscription. We will see you next time here at Wonderlane.